That's right. Happy birthday to the show with no name, folks. We are celebrating an anniversary today. I can't freaking believe it. The show with no name has been on the air for 17 years. That's right, 17 years of the show with no name. And today we are gonna celebrate it. We are gonna go all out. So hang on to your hats because it's time for liftoff. Motherfucker.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the end.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats.
And get ready for the ride of your life.
The show. It's show with no name time. On Fun Radio. It's a show with no name.
Let's go. Welcome, show with no namers. We are celebrating. Wow. 17 years ago today, a crazy radio show started called The Show with No Name. And you know what? It really didn't have a name. I couldn't think of a name. So I decided to call it The Show with No Name. And it kind of stuck. And I got a lot of great suggestions. I remember I started the show off with participation. I said, guys, tell me your thoughts. What should we call the show? As it started finding its own personality. And some of you gave me some awesome names, and other ones said it just doesn't need a name. Why pigeonhole it? ¿Por qué lo vamos a encasillar? So to this day, 17 years later, this show still doesn't have a name. And that's okay. Thank you to all of you who have made this show popular for 17 years. Again, it's mind-blowing. 17 years. That's almost 2 decades. Sitting in front of this microphone, waxing. Another way of saying talking. Rapping. Yeah. Or rap is rapear, but it's another way of saying talking too. And teaching and learning and laughing. We have grown together. That's magical. Many of you have seen me go from a snot-nosed punk kid, right? Un gamberro. Las cosas como son. Hey, I was 20-something when I started doing this. You've seen me go from a snot-nosed punk kid to a kind of mature adult. Kind of, algo. So thank you to all of you for making this show an institution in Spain. Thanks for making it as popular as it still is on all the different podcast platforms, not just on the radio dial. And this show would not be possible without our show with no namer. So again, you guys make the show. And without you, well, who would I be talking to? I'd be talking to the air. So it's great to know that all throughout the years, people have come and gone. Some have come, gone, and come back again. But the important thing is the show has continually grown, not just in audience, but I think for me as the creator of the program, the producer of the program, you know, the host of the program, it's continuing to grow as far as content. I mean, just a month or two ago, when we kicked off this season, I added 3 new sections to the show. So 3 or 4. three or four. I don't even remember, but the show continues to grow, and hopefully that is also the same can be said for your English. It continues to grow, and your passion for learning English. And if that continues to grow every day, then as you know, I'm proud. I'm proud of what we have created together. And I say we because, again, I didn't design this show so that it was just me talking to the air. I designed this show like I would a normal class, getting my students involved, getting you to participate, getting you excited about English. And I hope to continue doing that for the next 17 years. So thank you to all of you for bringing that magic every single day. Now, this might be a little bit sappy today. Sappy, ñoño. Oh, might be a little bit sappy, right? Sap is melaza. It's the thing that comes from the tree. You know, this kind of syrup, this sticky stuff that comes from the tree. And so when we say sappy, we mean, I think the word you use is ñoño, which is a difficult word. And it's funny because I just taught my daughter the word sap yesterday. She said, "Daddy, what is all that stuff dripping off the tree?" And I said, "That's called sap. And with sap, we make maple syrup or syrup." So very interesting, folks. Always learning. Oh, don't think I'm just teaching here on the show. In fact, most of my teaching happens when I'm not on the show, when I'm with my curious daughter who asks me 1,001 questions a day, and I welcome them. Every time she asks me a question, you know what I say? "Thanks for asking, honey. Thanks. Good question. Thank you for asking me," because I'm encouraging her to be curious. And I think I can say the same for all of you as well. You're like my kids as well. I feel like, you have entrusted me and all of us here at Vaughn with your English, and we take that really seriously. And I don't mean seriously where we don't have fun, but we mean business when it comes to your English. So are you ready to rock and roll? You ready for your first challenge in our 17th year on the air? Cool. Let's kick things off with the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Yes. Show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And don't forget, folks, right before this show, you can learn English with two of my best friends. And I mean that. Two of my best friends in the world teach English right before this show. I'm talking about Rob Grams and the Pro Bow Show, and I'm talking about Fitz and No Excuses. I couldn't think of a better way to get through the morning. So join Rob every morning. He'll give you that boost, ese aumento, that boost of energy that you're looking for. Rob is like a Red Bull or a Monster, or for us who don't drink that shit, an espresso. I even tried it. I remember one day at the supermarket, at the grocery store, it was like, "Oh, a Monster, €1." And I was like, all right, I'm tired. Let me try one of these. Guys, I took a half a sip and I tossed it. Yeah. Lo tiré a la basura. Yeah, it was disgusting. It tasted like cough syrup, jarabe. And then I think to myself, how do these kids drink this shit? I guess their palate, su paladar, is, I don't know. But I guess the same can be said for beer, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, beer is bitter." It's an acquired taste. So, Rob Grams, your shot of espresso, tu chupito de espresso. And then you've got a master class with Fitz. In his program, No Excuses. You can find them all on the Vaughn Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Also, a couple things. We're going to do some housekeeping. Ahora, esto es limpieza de casa, pero eso es como las cosas necesarias, ¿no? Las cosas que hay que decir aquí. Number one, question of the week. If you haven't participated, the time is just ticking away here. Thank you to Alfonso, Anix, Cristina Chicago, Elena, and Chris Valrol. They have all participated. And if you'd like to participate, you can send us a 1-minute voice note. You can send it to alonso@grupovon.com. This week, I want to know if you are more of a DIY person, do it yourself, or if you call in an expert, somebody who really knows what they're doing. And of course, as always, explain your answer. If you'd like to participate again, a 1-minute voice note, really easy. You can record it on your phone, just like when you send a WhatsApp to your friends that lasts 8 minutes. We call them podcasts. And hopefully, if you do it every week, well, you're going to not only improve your speaking, but your confidence, right? You'll feel more comfortable speaking. That'll definitely happen. So I urge you to participate. If you've never participated, I don't know why. It's an excellent opportunity for you to really, really put your English to the test and receive feedback. So that is the question of the week. Remember, you've got to send it to me, though, before the end of the day on Thursday, because Friday, Friday, first thing in the morning, a primera hora, I load it, lo cargo, into my soundboard, mi mesa de mezcla. And once you're in the soundboard, you're on the show. So excellent stuff. Those of you who participate every week, all I can say is it's working. It's working. Not only are you making fewer mistakes, but I think all of us can feel your confidence. All of us can see your personality. I mean, that's one of the hardest things. I can tell you that as somebody who's been speaking your language for 47 years. One thing is mastering the language, and one thing is, having your personality shine through. It's hard. It's hard sometimes in your own language to be funny, to be witty, all of these things. So imagine if now you're thinking too, oh, lo estoy diciendo bien, no lo estoy. It takes extra effort. And all of you, you know who I'm talking about. Anix, all of you guys, your personality shines through. We are not listening to a robot speaking English. We're hearing somebody and we're feeling their emotions. And that's called communication. So keep it up. Also, wanted to remind you, next week, we've got our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's October 7th at 8 p.m., right? We call this housekeeping, la limpieza, las cosas que hay que mencionar, right? So that's something that if you're in Madrid, you should come, okay? You should definitely come. Now, if you've been there, usually you go back, you return. Even if you don't live in Madrid, look at Chris Valrol. I don't know how many, but Chris Valrol has come to quite a few, bastantes, aunque suena a pocos, quite a few is bastante, quite a few trivia nights. And I can tell you that it's always special to talk to you guys, to, chat with you, and to see you in a different, in a different setting, otro ambiente. Because one thing is me, doing the radio show and you guys participating, but another thing is having a beer, having a laugh, giving each other a hug, that's priceless. So if you can make it, we'll see you at the Toast Tap Room. It starts at 8. That means get there at 7:45, and it's going to be hosted by Jules Linares. She is the wonderful host of Let's Get Random. So we're all going to be there to support her, apoyarle, and to have some fun. We'll see you there on the 7th of October, 2025. All right. Are you guys ready for the Say What soundbite now? Okay. The Say What soundbite today, I think it'll be pretty easy. Yesterday's was tough because we had kind of a redneck. We had Cousin Eddie. It was kind of a tough accent. But today, this person, their job is communication. Okay, this person's job is to communicate and to get their point across clearly, and you'll see why after. So here it is, your Say What soundbite for the first time. Good luck.
I was thinking last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. It occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip. Sorber.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender, y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. You've got so many amazing materials, not just mine. You've got phrasal verbs, you've got the translation lists, you've got the student manual, you've got so many amazing materials. Some of them have to do with sport, and some of them have to do with grammar. Again, take a gander, take a look around and see what you come up with. And as always, we're going to take a look at a material in today's Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Come on. Get up. Let's go. Quiz. Go, 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 quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. This is our pop quiz, and today we're going to take a look at something from Speak English B2. That's right, Speak English B2. It's available at Von Tienda, and you got a little bit of everything in there. You know, if you're looking for something with a bit of variety, you're saying, I need phrasal verbs, but I also want to work on some, brush up on some grammar, repasar la gramática. I want to, review some pronunciation points, some common mistakes. Well, then this is your material. We also have Speak English A1 and A2. Now that's in the same book. You've got A1 and A2 in the same book, and then you've got B2, which we're going to take a look at today. Now these books are available for $15.75, so just under 16 euros. And as you know, they come with audio. So let's listen to that audio now. And as always, I'll have a couple questions for you afterwards.
73. Phrasal verbs. To pass out.
James siempre se desmaya cuando le hacen un análisis de sangre.
James always passes out when he has a blood test.
En cuanto él vio la aguja, se desmayó.
As soon as he saw the needle, he passed out.
Liz se desmayó por el calor.
Liz passed out because of the heat.
Creo que ella va a desmayarse.
I think she's going to pass out.
Casi me desmayo cuando ella me contó la noticia.
I almost passed out when she told me the news.
No sabría qué hacer si alguien se desmayara.
I wouldn't know what to do if someone passed out.
Ella se desmayó y se despertó en una cama de hospital.
She passed out and woke up in a hospital bed.
Me desmayo cada vez que me ponen una inyección.
I pass out every time I get an injection.
Creo que me desmayaría si viera a Chris Hemsworth en la calle.
I think I'd pass out if I saw Chris Hemsworth on the street.
¿Te desmayas cuando ves sangre? ¿Incluso si solo es una gota?
Do you pass out when you see blood, even if it's just a drop?
¿Qué debería hacer yo si ella se desmaya?
What should I do if she passes out?
¿Qué hiciste cuando él se desmayó?
What did you do when you passed out?
Casi me desmayo durante esa escena horrible.
I almost passed out during that gruesome scene.
Nunca me he desmayado por tener la tensión baja.
I've never passed out from having low blood pressure.
¿Te has desmayado alguna vez por tener el azúcar bajo?
Have you ever passed out from having low blood sugar?
Me golpeé en la cabeza cuando me desmayé.
I hit my head when I passed out.
Ella se desmayó y no se acuerda de nada.
She passed out and can't remember anything.
Recuerdo sentirme mareado antes de que me desmayara.
I remember feeling dizzy before I passed out.
Llamé a una ambulancia porque alguien se había desmayado en la calle.
I called an ambulance because someone had passed out on the street.
Ven y siéntate. No quiero que te desmayes.
Come and sit down. I don't want you to pass out. Test yourself.
¿Te desmayas cuando te ponen una inyección?
Do you pass out when you get an injection?
Me desmayé cuando me hicieron un análisis de sangre.
I passed out when I had a blood test.
Esta es la segunda vez que él se desmaya por el calor.
This is the second time he's passed out because of the heat.
Ella se desmayó cuando vio la aguja.
She passed out when she saw the needle.
Él podría desmayarse si tiene la tensión baja.
He could pass out if he has low blood pressure.
Me desmayaría si Natalie Portman se presentara a mi casa.
I'd pass out if Natalie Portman showed up at my house.
El médico me dijo que me desmayé por tener el azúcar bajo.
The doctor said that I had passed out from having low blood sugar. 79. Phrasal verbs. To get around to.
Finalmente llegué a hacerlo anoche.
I eventually got around to doing it last night.
Él todavía no ha conseguido terminar el informe.
He hasn't got around to finishing the report yet.
No sacamos tiempo para pintar la valla el verano pasado.
We didn't get around to painting the fence last summer.
Tengo que conseguir acabar mi novela este año.
I need to get around to finishing my novel this year.
Conseguí estudiarme todos los temas.
I got around to studying all the topics.
Necesito sacar tiempo para escribir las cartas de agradecimiento.
I need to get around to writing the thank you letters.
No conseguí ir al supermercado después del trabajo.
I didn't get around to going to the supermarket after work.
¿Conseguiste sacar tiempo para arreglar el grifo?
Did you get around to fixing the tap?
¿Llegaste a ir a la farmacia?
Did you get around to going to the pharmacy?
¿La empresa de seguros llegó a encargarse de tu reclamación?
Did the insurance company get around to dealing with your claim?
¿Llegarás a escribir la carta este fin de semana?
Will you get around to writing the letter this weekend?
¿Crees que sacarás tiempo para aprender chino algún día?
Do you think you'll get around to learning Chinese one day?
Nunca llegarán a visitar el Museo del Prado. Siempre lo dejan para más tarde.
They'll never get around to visiting the Prado Museum. They keep putting it off.
¿Cuándo vamos a sacar tiempo para planificar nuestras vacaciones?
When are we going to get around to planning our holiday?
¿Cuándo vas a sacar tiempo para responder todos tus emails?
When are you going to get around to answering all your emails?
¿Sacarán tiempo para hacer la compra?
Will they get around to doing the shopping?
¿Conseguiste llamar a tus primos?
Did you get around to calling your cousins?
Lo siento, todavía no he conseguido sacar tiempo para ello.
I'm sorry, I haven't got around to it yet.
Lo iba a hacer ayer, pero no llegué a hacerlo al final.
I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't get around to it in the end.
Ella no ha sacado tiempo para cambiar la bombilla. Siempre lo deja para más tarde.
She hasn't got around to changing the light bulb. She keeps putting it off. Test yourself.
¿Conseguiste sacar tiempo para hacerlo?
Did you get around to doing it?
Lo aplacé durante un montón de tiempo, pero finalmente llegué a hacerlo.
I put it off for ages, but eventually got around to doing it.
Necesito arreglar el grifo, pero nunca consigo sacar tiempo para ello.
I need to fix the tap, but I never get around to it.
Todavía no he conseguido sacar tiempo para llamar a mi madre.
I haven't got around to calling my mother yet.
¿Has llegado a leer mi libro?
Have you got around to reading my book?
¿Crees que conseguirás terminarlo este fin de semana?
Do you think you'll get around to finishing it this weekend?
Finalmente llegaron a encargarse de nuestra reclamación.
They eventually got around to dealing with our claim.
All right, folks, there you go. Some really good vocabulary. Well, we've got to take a quick commercial break, but when I come back from this break, I'm going to give you the 3 things I want for you in our pop quiz. We'll also take a look at your observations from our Say What soundbite. We got our news report. Man, we got a lot of stuff to cover. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name, celebrating our 17th anniversary. Jeez Louise. Holy guacamole. Sounds like something Robin would say. Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole, Batman. All right, folks. Let me give you the 3 things I want from today's pop quiz. We'll see if you were able to get this from the audio. Again, the audio comes from one of our materials called Speak English B2. It's available at vontienda.com, or stop by in person in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. And while you're there, ask for a free level test. Why not? I'd be curious to know, as your teacher, how it goes. Did you feel comfortable? Did you realize you knew more than you thought you knew, or less than you thought you knew? All right, the first thing I want you to give me is desmayarse. Use it in context. Desmayarse. Now, you can say to faint, F-A-I-N-T, but there's a phrasal verb that you heard over 20 times in that audio. So, desmayarse. You can even try using it, tengo el azúcar, tal, some of that, la tensión baja. We looked at some really good expressions. So, the first one is desmayarse. The second one is another one we heard repeated several times, and it's sacar el tiempo para hacer algo. Todos tenemos algo. I don't have to give you an example there. You can give me one. Right? That thing that's on your to-do list que nunca encuentras el tiempo para hacerlo. Well, give it to me in context. Sacar el tiempo o encontrar el tiempo, decidirse a hacer algo. It's another phrasal verb. And the last one, quiero que me pidas, pero muy polite, soy el camarero, un vaso de agua del grifo. Hey, this is really important. It can save you a lot of money, especially if you're in a city like New York, where the agua del grifo, casi lo digo, is really yummy, and there's no need to spend $8 on a bottle of water. And I remember that was one of the first things I learned when I went to France. Eau de carafe. Eau is water, and carafe, I think, is garrafa. No, so eau de carafe would be how you would order it in France. I'm just telling you, that little word could save you a lot of money. Now, if you're going to Mexico, don't. Montezuma's Revenge is a real thing, folks. Not because I say so, but it is a real thing. Montezuma's Revenge. So, obviously, you got to do the research, too. Do your homework, when you're traveling. And that's one of the first things I ask. ¿Se puede beber el agua del grifo? Recently we were in London. And in London, you can. So, hey, if I can save a couple bucks and drink agua del grifo, well, then that's hey, maybe I'll be able to buy another souvenir, right? Or maybe I'll just save some money for our next trip. All right. So those are your 3 challenges in our pop quiz. The first one is desmayarse. También tiene el significado de caerse de sueño. So we also say como quedarse frito, but if you think about it, no es igual. No caes en la cama, te desmayas en la cama. So we'll look at those, and it's got another meaning too, which is distribuir. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. Very, very useful phrasal verb. The second one is a structure I'm not too sure we've looked at least not very often here, and it's buscar un hueco, buscar el tiempo para hacer algo. And the third one, pídeme. Let's put in a little scenario here. I'm the waiter, and tú quieres tomar un vaso o una jarra de agua del grifo. Remember to be polite. We never start a question with I want, give me. No. Ponme. I love that one in Spanish. Ponme. Okay. My favorite, though, is ponte. I remember the first time I heard that. My cousin Fran in Almería was like, ponte 2 cañas. Y otras 2 para nosotros también cuando puedas. Yeah, I never understood that one. I was like, ponte o ponme. All right, so there you go, folks. Those are your challenges in our pop quiz. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the second time. And as I said, I think today it's going to be pretty easy. Also, I mean, this guy's job was, because he no longer is, he passed away, que no es, otra palabra con pass aquí. But his job was to be a clear, concise communicator. So let's see if he was actually effective or not. Here it is for the second time.
I was thinking last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. And it occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. That's right, folks. VaughnTienda.com, where you can pick up This Book is the Shit or any of my 5 books, or you can pick up the book we're looking at today as well, the Speak English B2, which we're going to take a look at in just a moment. All right, we've got a lot of participation, which is awesome here at our 17th anniversary party. Well, every day's a party here on the show, right? But today we are celebrating. All right, let's see who's with us for today's anniversary. We've got Born to Iron Man. And Born to Iron Man, I know you, buddy, and you wouldn't miss it for anything in the world. Como va la expresión. No te lo perderías para nada. En este mundo. You wouldn't miss today for anything in the world. In fact, Born to Iron Man, when we're on our summer break or our Christmas break, guess who's still listening to the shows, the repeats, and participating? Born to Iron Man. So it's no secret he's our spelling bee champion. He doesn't take days off. I know sometimes, it'll be Christmas Eve. No, Noche Buena, you say? El 24? Christmas Eve, and he's like, all of a sudden, I open up my Twitter, and there he is doing the spelling bee. And I'm like, este tío, this guy is unstoppable. And you know what? You can tell. The proof is in the pudding. La prueba la tenemos delante, como se dice, ¿no? Está aquí. Es muy comprobable, right? The proof is in the pudding. So all I can say is keep it up. All right, he also says sap is savia. Oh, see, I didn't know that in Spanish. And sappy, sappy is like cheesy, sentimental, sensiblero, ñoño, that kind of cursi kind of thing, like, lovey-dovey kind of thing. So great. Piénsalo, es muy dulce, no? It kind of makes sense. Sap, it's very sweet. It's empalagoso. There you go, right? Se hace sirope con eso. Okay, so if you think about it, it really does make sense. Sometimes we've got to, just kind of look for that association. And even when there isn't one, make it up. Invéntatelo tú. It doesn't have to be an official reason. If it makes sense to you, then you'll remember it, So awesome, Born to Iron Man. Thanks for being a model student all of these years. Speaking of model students, we've got Chris Valrol in the house as well. She says the same goes for us, teacher. Lo mismo decimos, profe. We always try our best. You don't have to tell me that. I know it. I feel it. She says, we don't want to let you down, and you never do. That's the beautiful part. Since you prepare content for us, we appreciate it immensely. And she says, I would go to Madrid every month. I know you would if you could. I know it, Chris. So you guys don't have to convince me of your drive, tu motivación, your energy, because it's contagious. You pass it to me every day. And I thank you for that, especially last week when I was under the weather. And I needed your energy more than ever. I got it. So you never, ever let me down. Reminds me of, it's not just the Beatles with Don't Let Me Down, but do we have any Depeche Mode fans in the house? I'm taking a ride with my best friend. I hope he never lets me down again. And then you've got the Chainsmokers, que también tienen una canción, Don't Let Me Down, Down, Down. So what am I telling you? Listen to more music if you want to, enrich your vocabulary. Sure. And, we all know the benefits of listening to music on our mood, right? Nuestro estado de ánimo. So, Chris, Born to Iron Man, I couldn't ask for better students. Let's see. Chris is participating here in our pop quiz. And she says, I've passed out a few times due to my low blood pressure. All right. So la tensión, low blood pressure, right? High blood pressure, tienes la tensión alta. Low blood pressure is the opposite. A little bit different than to have low blood sugar. Eso es el azúcar en la sangre. Pero es interesante que todo va con blood. We saw a lot of different incarnations of the word blood there, right? A blood test, una prueba de sangre, right? You say prueba de sangre? Okay. A blood test, low blood pressure, high blood pressure. Your blood sugar is low. That means you need a little sugar in your system, right? Or something, maybe have an apple. It can be fructose, guys. It doesn't have to be cane sugar. So excellent. Even we looked at the word put off in there too, que quería destacar. To put something off is aplazarlo, no? Esperar. It's to procrastinate. He's always putting things off. He's always procrastinating. All right. Excellent job, Chris. Let's see the second one. She says, I'm getting around to tidy up the house. The only thing is, esta engaña bastante. Es como el looking forward to seeing you. Pues igual. Este es con gerundio. So I'm getting, por eso queremos siempre que usáis aquí frases completas. Así podemos hacer estos ajustes para asegurar que lo estáis usando correctamente. So, I'm getting around to tidying up the house. Yeah, me too, every day. Great job, ¿ok? Lo único, pues ponemos el gerundio ahí. Yo sé que, claro, ves el to y dices, pues tiene que ser infinitivo, pero no siempre en inglés. Tenemos otros ejemplos de eso también, con el look forward to, right? I'm getting used to living here. Otro que el to le sigue un gerundio, okay? There are probably about maybe 5 or 6 structures like that where you get a to and then you get the gerund, and this is one of them. Now, also remember the British, they love saying round instead of around. Are you coming round? We would say, are you coming around? ¿Te vienes por aquí esta tarde? So the British love omitting the A, right? He was round here yesterday. We would say he was around here yesterday. They're both correct, but just so you know, if you hear a British person, they're going to omit that A. They're going to leave out that A, right? So I'm going to get round to it. They would say, I'm going to get round to tidying up the house. Americans would say, I'm going to get around to tidying up the house. Excellent. And then she says, please, young man, could you give me a glass of tap water? Excellent. Chris Valrol, knocking it out of the park. Let's see. Kay Roller Girl says, I fainted. Great. This was the other way to say it. I fainted. I passed out. Y fijaos en el passed out, como lo pronunciamos. La T de passed se une con el out. I passed out. No, lo estoy separando para que lo oigas. Did you pass out? Yeah, I passed out. Passed out. O sea, no se unen, no se separan, no hay pausa. Y la T realmente suena como si fuera parte del out cuando lo separamos, right? Did you pass out? Contéstalo tú. Uniéndolo así. Yeah, I passed out. I passed out. Okay? All right. She says, I fainted, but I haven't vanished in thin air. Well, you got to be a magician if you do that. Desaparecer. Okay. She says, then it took me the time to get back. Instead of the time, it took me time. Tardé tiempo. So el the nos sobra ahí. It took me time to get back. Volver. And I asked for some tap water to feel better. Excellent. A little story. Excellent job, Chris and Kay, Roller Girl. Let's see, Chris has also got something to say about our Say What soundbite. And Chris, I've got to say something. Your observations lately have been spot on. Even when you say, I don't think I got it, I beg to differ because you're telling me the main idea, the point. That's what we're looking for. So she says, I heard an American man, yes, he's sharing his thoughts on a theory, muy bien, and wondering if it makes sense. He's pretty sure O.J. Simpson disguised or disguises. No, tenemos que ponerlo en tercera persona o en pasado, right? So yo lo pondría en pasado, tiene más sentido, because eso es que lo suele hacer, right? Disguises, right? So just be careful with your form of the verb there. He's pretty sure O.J. Simpson disguised himself. Spot on. Good ear. Born to Iron Man says, participating in our the pop quiz, excuse me. Have you ever passed out after an extreme race? Great example. Yeah, a lot of times, when you're running, you feel like you're going to throw up. Toma, otro phrasal verb, vomitar, and pass out. So then you think, so why do we run? Are we gluttons for punishment? Nosotros decimos masoquista, decimos a glutton for punishment. Un glotón para el castigo, que nos gusta el castigo, right? So I guess so. Well, humans, we are gluttons for punishment, aren't we? All right, let's see. The next one, he goes, I believe you. He says, I'm always getting around to visiting my family. All right, buscando el tiempo. The perfect example for me. My mother, when I was a kid, Alberto, clean your room. Clean your room. I'll get around to it, Mom. Ya buscaré un hueco. That's my example. All right. And the last one, please, could I have a glass of tap water? Excellent. Yeah, the tap es el grifo. Excellent job. Chris says, by the way, congratulations. Well, hey, wait a second. This is a celebration for all of us here. We're all celebrating 17 years. So excellent job. All right. We've got Anix in the house. And Anix says, morning there. This is You Know How It Goes. Morning there. This is Anix. And she says, a lovely to you all. Lovely day, I imagine, to you all. Thank you very much, Anix. And great to have you on board. It's great to have so many amazing students here participating and passionate about learning. I'm telling you, you guys can learn. You can learn anything you want with that passion, with that drive. And it's inspiring, not just to me, but also to Kyle. We've talked about you guys. Sometimes we talk about you guys, and we all agree that you guys inspire us. Yeah, all the time. True story. All right, so the words we looked at, to pass out, también es distribuir. Podría ser un double trouble perfectamente, right? The teacher passed out, acordaos, la T con el out. The teacher passed out after she passed out the exams. Oh, that's great. So we don't have to take them? No hay que hacer el examen entonces. Si se desmayó. Also, the word faint is a regular verb. So he fainted, right? And to pass out. Also, as I said, it's got that meaning of, oh man, I am pooped. I am exhausted. I'm going to go home and pass out. No es que me voy a desmayar, pero me voy a quedar frito. Voy a caer en combate. Think of it that way. Okay? The next one we said to get around to it. Now, you don't have to use a verb. I'll get around to it. Ya buscaré un hueco. But if we do use a verb, it's in the gerund. I'll get around to cleaning the garage. All right? And the other one, agua del grifo. Okay, agua del grifo, which is tap water. Remember, do you guys remember we looked at it last week? Cuando puedas. This is a really important one because you use it all the time in Spanish. We use it too. Whenever you get a chance, right? Whenever you get a chance or when you get a chance. Wonderful job, everybody. This comes directly from Speak English B2, and it's available at vaughntienda.com. All right, before we hit our next commercial break, let's give you another challenge. How about homophones on the show with no name?
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Show it no.
That's right, folks. It is Homophones here on the show with no name. Here's where we look at words that can be a little bit confusing when it comes to pronunciation. If you notice something in homophones, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, they're all one-syllable words. Yeah, usually the longer words are easier to say. That's the irony of English. But sometimes those short ones, are like, oh, wait, seat or sit? Oh, wow. Okay. So let's see A, if you recognize the words, B, if they sound exactly the same or not. Now, the first word is derramar. Okay. Derramar. Okay. Let's see. What else is there? Volcarse. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's got many other meanings as well. Mecha, caída. Oh, también tuve una caída el otro día. So this could be a triple trouble as well. Okay. So the first, I guess the most common meaning is derramar. Hey, we were talking about tap water. Te ponen el vaso y, oh no, lo derramé. Okay, so derramar is the first word. The second word is a really cool word that comes from German, in fact, and it's your sales talk, your rehearsed talk, tu perorata. I didn't know that one. Tu charla, tu discurso. No, ya viene él con su discurso otra vez. And it's not speech. It's another way to say it, no? It's something that you say, your monologue, vamos a decir, no? All right, so those are your two words. Are you familiar with them? And do they sound exactly the same or not? We'll take a look at that and much more after this quick commercial break. So stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to stay tuned because you've got Speaking with Confidence with Ale up next. After that, you've got the Lunchtime Show. Then you've got Ruby and her program. You've got Jules Linares and Let's Get Random. Don't forget, Jules is hosting our upcoming trivia night. Be there or be square. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm ready to go crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go nuts. I haven't gone out in a while. Llevo tiempo sin salir. So I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna give 110%. Not just partying, obviously. I mean, in the trivia, I want to win. Also, you got Dave Boys and the salad. You never know what to expect with Dave Boys, but you can expect to have tons of fun as you learn English. I always think about what it must be like to be Dave Boys' kids. They must have a really fun time, right? He's doing voices and all that. Lucky kids. And you can spend some time with Dave every day in the salad. Then you got Kyle Miller and Drive Time. You got Chris Frank and Frankly Speaking. Richard Vaughn Live. And Jessica Fernandez. And the Hour to Empower. All of these are available on the Vaughn Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, let's take a look over here. We're going to listen to our Say What soundbite. I think it's relatively easy, so I expect a few of you to be able to get it. Here it is for the third time.
I was thinking last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. And it occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, folks, Vaughn Town. And it is a turning point, not just in your English, but in your life, because you'll make some new friends that you already know you have stuff in common with. That's why you guys, many of you get along. You click, right? You click, you hit it off, hacer buenas migas, because you already have the learning English thing in common. So then if you add to it that you're good people, with good hearts, that's two very important things to have in common. So, and it's great. It's great that all of you, I love the way you support each other, the way you are constantly encouraging, alentando. You're constantly encouraging each other. It's beautiful. It's what we would say here, magical. All right, let's see. Now you've got the Say What soundbite. We're going to hear that one more time in the last part of the show. But right now we're going to take a look at our homophones. We've got Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol, the only two participating. Now there are much more people here, many more people, I should say, much es incontable. There are many more people here, but only two are brave enough to say yes or no. Or maybe the other one, maybe you guys don't know those words. That's what it is. No conocíais las palabras. I don't know. If not, or maybe you're just casual observers. Well, either way, let's see what our superstars had to say. Born to Iron Man gives us the two words correctly. That's a good start. Excellent. So you already know the words. Check it off the list. Now we need to check the way they sound. All right. And he says they sound alike. All right. Chris Valrol gives us the two words, and she says they're not homophones. And she gives us the idiom, spill the beans. Suelta la lengua. Cuéntamelo todo. Come on, man. Spill the beans. All right, Chris, you got it. So this is interesting, too, because I trust both of you, right? So here it's just going to be or maybe it's a case of, well, it depends. There's some words it depends on how you pronounce them, what part of the world you're from, whether they're homophones or not. All right. The first word is spill. Spill. Careful, you're going to spill your drink. Okay? Vas a tirar, vas a derrumbar, I think is the word you say, tu bebida. In fact, there's a funny, it's not funny if you, but it was funny when we were kids. We used to say, don't drink and drive. You might spill your drink. No bebas ebrio, porque a lo mejor tiras. Don't drink and drive. You might spill your drink. Now, let me ask you this. Is the verb spill regular or irregular? Both. What? Yeah, it's both. It's like I dreamed that dream or I dreamt that dream before. So there's some that I think nobody ever decided, and we said, all right, well, you'll both get your way. Ambos se salen con la suya. So it can be regular. I spilled my coffee or I spilt my coffee. Y en el caso de irregular es spilt. Okay? So, y se quita una L. O sea, es S-P-I-L-T, porque cuando está en la raíz hay dos L's. Spill. Okay? And as Chris gave us, spill is also part of the expression spill the beans. ¿No? Derrama, tira las habichuelas, que significa dímelo todo. Suelta la lengua. Dímelo. Spill the beans. Come on. I can't take it anymore. Great expression. All right. And that second word, all right, well, in the United States, we say spiel. What? ¿Dónde está la H? Well, as I said, it's a German word, right? So we pronounce it a la alemana. Spiel. Oh, here he comes again with his spiel. Right? Su peorata. Is that the word that I saw? Peorata? Perorata. That's a difficult word to say. I've heard discurso, su charla, aquí está. Think of Richard Vaughan. Richard Vaughan has his spiel. Now, why did I just say spiel? Because in England, I looked this up because I wasn't sure how they said it. In England, they say spiel. But in the United States, we pronounce it the German way, spiel. Think of the instrument, the glockenspiel. Es igual. Okay, glockenspiel. Okay, so they are not homophones. Doesn't matter how you pronounce that second word. It doesn't sound like spill. Let's rhyme some words. Okay, spill, dilo conmigo en voz alta, por favor. Spill rhymes with drill. Spill rhymes with kill, la que vimos ayer, que no es kill, right? Spill rhymes with pill, píldora, right? And I'm sure you can add your own. And spiel, yo lo voy a decir a la americana barra alemana, como lo solemos decir. Spiel, okay? Spiel rhymes with peel, right? Pelar. Rhymes with real, rhymes with steal, rhymes with deal. So there you go, folks. They are not homophones, but just be aware that that second word, que se escribe S-P-I-E-L, que en inglés americano es sh, como si hubiera una H entre la P, right? So, oh, here he goes again with his spiel. Ahora, he visto en un video en YouTube que a la británica es spiel. So you can check that, by the way. You have English teachers. You can ask Rob Grams, and I'm sure he'll tell you how they say that word in England. But in the United States, it's spiel. All right? So excellent job. Chris Valrol. Great effort, Born to Iron Man. You knew the words. That's a start. But now you know that it's pronounced either spiel or spiel. But it's not pronounced like spill, ill. All right, excellent job in our homophones. But guess what? We've got to move on to life hacks.
These are the life hacks you need to know.
Life hacks, truquitos de la vida. And also, guys, remember this. If you have any life hacks, maybe that your grandma taught you. You know who knew life hacks before they were called life hacks? Grandparents. No, los abuelos tenían todos los trucos, right? They'd be like, tienes una mancha. You got a stain. Come here. Let's get, and they would not pull out some kind of stain remover that cost 25 euros for a little bottle. They would say, trae para acá un poco de esto, talco, and gone. The stain was instantly removed. So it's like these home remedies, these things that we can do to make our lives easier, whether it has to do with organization, whether it has to do with cleanliness, right? Limpieza. And all of that stuff. And today we are going to take a look at some things that you can use, some general cleaning hacks. As Chris said before, Chris, this is perfect for you, who said you're going to get around to tidying up. Well, hey, I've got some hacks for you that might work. Now, first things first, we all have those cleaning products in our house, right? And what do those cleaning products have on the bottle? A skeleton. Why? It's poison. It's poison that you're inhaling, that you're getting on your skin, that you're putting on your bathtub. It's poison. It's absolute poison. You wouldn't drink it, would you? Okay, well, there you go. In fact, if you drink it, you're probably going to die really quickly, right? A lot of it has like boric acid, all of this stuff that we're really not supposed to be playing around with, not supposed to be exposed to, right? And I know it's the easy way. Bueno, me compro el tal y ya está. But do you know how much cheaper vinegar is than these cleaning products? So vinegar and water, I mean, that stuff, it works to clean many, many surfaces, including windows and mirrors. And we all know windows and mirrors, those are difficult because you don't want them to streak. To streak, S-T-R-A-K, son las marcas que se quedan, streaks. So, that's one of the big things. When you're cleaning windows and you're using window cleaner, which that stuff even looks dangerous. That blue color, you're like, oh, I don't know if that stuff is, good to inhale. And obviously it's not. So the good thing about the vinegar water solution is you don't get streaks. It's a lot cheaper and a lot safer for you to use. So you can use that to clean windows, mirrors, and a myriad of other surfaces. So don't underestimate the power of a vinegar water solution. Now, they say you're supposed to mix equal parts. Okay, so equal parts water, equal parts vinegar. Now, what am I going to tell you? Do we use red wine vinegar? I wouldn't. Use white vinegar. Right? White vinegar, because you don't want to stain anything, because obviously if you use some red wine vinegar, well, it's got that red color in there. So you might see that dyeing your surfaces. So always go with white vinegar, okay? Whether it's from white wine, sometimes from cider, from apples, right? So you can get vinegar, and we all know vinegar is cheap as chips. Okay, it's one of the few things that's still affordable. And you can use it to dress your salad or to clean surfaces in your house. Another trick when we're cleaning is top to bottom. Okay, and this is one I've learned the hard way many times. Que lo he aprendido a base de golpes. That when you clean the bottom and then you clean the top, what happens? Well, the dust or whatever, the junk, the crap that's all accumulating at the top goes down to the bottom. So you have to clean the bottom again. So there is a logical order to cleaning as well. You always clean from top to bottom and from left to right, okay? And this way, you're always moving the dirt or the grime in the same direction, and it's not falling onto surfaces that have already been cleaned. So start from the top and work your way down, como decimos. And this is more about efficiency, about not having to do the bottom part again because you did it out of order. So work from top to bottom, all right? Also, there's another thing that can get rid of grease and grime. Grease is grasa, and grime. We all know that stuff. Grease, man, that stuff is hard to get out of anything. Grease, Grime is another way of saying dirt, mugre, suciedad, porquería. Right? And another thing, Another miracle product, something again that's relatively affordable, and it doesn't have any poisons in it. It doesn't have these harsh chemicals that, I mean, it's incredible. Just think about it. When you open up or you just spray that stuff, instantly the air tastes like chemicals. Well, guess what? Those are going into your lungs, tus pulmones, right? So we've got a baking soda paste, una pasta, right? De baking soda. Siempre se me olvida cómo se dice baking soda. This is another thing that's not just used to keep your fridge fresh, right? Mantener fresco la nevera. Bicarbonato sódico. Okay, bicarbonato de sodio o sódico. We call it baking soda. Ah, mira, no lo sabía. En Inglaterra dicen bicarbonate of soda. Ah, no lo sabía. Well, we call it baking, como de hornear, baking soda. And basically, this will help you get grease, grime, marks off of surfaces as well. And what you do is you mix the baking soda with a little bit of dish soap. Okay, this way it's got the soap as well. And you use a slightly damp surface. Okay, no tiene que estar empapado. It doesn't have to be soaked, but damp. Damp is slightly, es ligeramente, and damp es húmedo. So you can use a damp cloth, right? A cloth es una bayeta, a damp cloth, or a rag, también decimos, a rag or a cloth, and you have to scrub, okay? And they say it's best to scrub in a circular motion. I didn't know that. And remember, when you're scrubbing, ¿cómo le decimos? Lo vimos, yo creo que la semana pasada. ¿Cómo decimos? Pero hay que ponerle empeño, hay que darle fuerte. Do you remember that expression? You have to put some elbow grease into it. Hablando de grasa, grasa del codo, como dale fuerte, mueve ese codo. You've got to put some elbow grease into it. So there you go, folks. A couple general cleaning hacks that can not only help you remove dirt, grime, fingerprints, and all of that, but also you're not breathing in poison. And I think that could probably add years to your life in the long run. So there you go, folks. That was today's life hacks. And now it's time for our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, amigos, welcome to your spelling bee here on the show with no name. All right, well, let's take a look at what we've got for today. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word just for the sake of simplicity. Is everybody ready? This is round one. Here we go, amigos. The first word is DEEPWATER. The second one is OIL space SPILL. The next one is ENVIRONMENTAL space DISASTER. The fourth one is UNITED space STATES. The next one, GULF space OF space MEXICO. And the last one is MACONDO space PROSPECT. Whoa. All right. I know someone's going to get it, maybe even a couple of you. But that's as fast as I can go. All right, so we've got a chopper overhead. A chopper is another way to say a helicopter. So it seems like something urgent, something that needs attention. All right. I'll give you about 20, 30 seconds to see if anybody got it. And then we can take a look at round two. Round two, again, I don't go slow, but I slow down considerably if you compare it to round one. All right. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, "You got it, Chris. Kudos." And Chris says, "Thanks. I had to look up the second word." Great. You know what that means? You just learned a new word. So that's another thing, not just the pronunciation, but maybe you were familiar with the word. Maybe you were familiar with the word, but not its incarnations. Like the word spill has many different meanings, as we said before. What happened? I had a little spill on my skateboard. Piénsalo, me derramé, me caí. So es otra forma de decir una caída también. All right, going once. Let's see. Gonna give you another 10 seconds or so, and then we're gonna start round two. All right. I'm rooting for you. Estoy aquí animando, but maybe it was really difficult. Oh, hey, hang on a second. I knew somebody was going to take a stab at it. Let's see. Chris Valrol, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one, fifth one, and sixth one are all correct. Unbelievable. Hats off. Hats off. Excellent job, Chris Valrol. Also, it looks like Born to Iron Man. Let me take a quick look over here. Yes. So give it up for your classmates, superstars, Chris Valrol and Born to Iron Man, knocking it out of the park in today's Spelling Bee. All right. Well, let's get into round two. All right. As I said, I'm going to slow down, but not too much. The first word is DEEPWATER. The second word is OIL space SPILL. The next one is ENVIRONMENTAL space DISASTER. The next one is UNITED space STATES. The next one is GULF space OF space MEXICO. And the last one is MACONDO space PROSPECT. All right, there you go, folks. Hopefully a few people will get it on the second go. But that's your spelling bee, and we'll take a look at what all those words have in common after this quick commercial break. Also, we're going to take a look at today's Double Trouble. We've got our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. We'll see if somebody can figure it out. We'll check those spelling bee words. We've got movies. We've got jokes. And so much more up ahead, including Name That Lyric. Man, Name That Lyric. Let's see which one we've got today. Oh, what a great song. But the song has a grammar mistake on purpose. It's poetic license. So we are going to correct one of the most famous songs ever. I'm going to have you guys correct it. You're going to tell me what's wrong with it. All that and much more when we come back. So stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. We're here celebrating 17 years. That's right, 17 years of me sitting in front of this microphone at 10:30 a.m. and giving you 110%. I don't know any other way to spend my morning. Really. This is what I've done for 17 years. And thanks to you guys. I'll tell you that. If you didn't like the show, if the show didn't have listeners, it would be off the air. Right? It wouldn't be in the top spots on Apple Podcasts. And all of that is because you guys not only listen, not only spread the word, but you're also our ambassadors. I mean that. Sois nuestros embajadores. You know, when the rest of your friends say, wait a second, Chris speaks English leaps and bounds better than all of us. No, leaps and bounds, muchísimo. And I'll tell you something, it's not just, the grammar, I get my grammar right, I don't make many mistakes. It's that confidence. And that confidence, that'll take you everywhere. It'll open every door. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it, right? If you're not convincing, if you're not convinced yourself, how are you going to convince someone else? So you got to believe in yourself, but that comes from practicing, from being familiar with the language, and that's something we do every day. All right, so folks, why don't we kick things off with our double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, folks. Welcome to Double Trouble. And as always, this is a part of the show where we look at words with double meanings. Let's see if you can figure out today's double trouble. Okay, aunque trabajemos como maquinaria, no somos compatibles. Ooh. Tough one today. Why? Because in both cases, they're idiomatic expressions. So both parts of this sentence today, you either know it or you don't. But feel free to look it up. Like, guys, that's part of being a student too. Going out there and saying, a ver si encuentro esto. ¿Y qué significa? Right? You got to do your part too. My favorite is when a student says, ¿Cómo se dice tal? I'm like, apunta, Google. You got it. Google? Yeah, okay, there you go. Right? I'm not going to do the work for you. So I've had that many times, or a student say, can you write that? No, you write it. You're the one who has to write it. I tell you, I don't have to practice. You're the one who has to write down the word. I'll spell it for you, but I'm not going to write it for you or look it up for you, right? Oh, but you'd be surprised how many students are like, oh, well, here, tell me what this means. I'm like, okay, you tell me. Go ahead. You know how does your Google not work? Okay, well, that's part of being a student, being curious. And you know how many times I look things up in a typical day? Not just when I'm preparing the scripts, when I'm like, out with my wife. ¿Y cómo se dice esto en español? Yo creo que, pues mira, en inglés. So I'm constantly looking things up. And I speak Spanish pretty well, many people would say. So that curiosity, that part's got to come from the student, So, aunque trabajemos como maquinaria, no somos compatibles. That's your double trouble. You've got to use the same word twice, as always. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here is the fourth and final listen.
I was thinking last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. And it occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself.
Nunca he entendido por qué a la gente le hacía gracia el personaje de Spider Cerdo de la película de Los Simpsons. Es que no tiene gracia.
¿Cuál dice? ¿Spider-Ham?
Spider-Ham,
Es graciosísimo en inglés.
Claro, tiene todo el sentido. Es como araña jamón.
Eso es.
Claro, tiene sentido que sea un cerdo. Y su identidad secreta es...
Peter Porker en vez de Peter Parker.
Ah, claro, tiene sentido. Porker, que es como...
Porker es un gordito y viene de pork, que es cerdo.
Ah, tiene todo el sentido del mundo. Así da gusto aprender con This Book is the Shit, el tercer libro de Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
No te pierdas nuestro método Milky. Vas a aprender un montón porque en realidad ya lo sabías todo.
That's right, folks. And I don't know if you heard the news, but they're coming out with 20. Hey, better late than never. 20 years later, we're going to get a Simpsons movie sequel. Wow. Hey, it was about time. Ya era hora. Especially if you're a Simpsons fan like I am. Well, remember, you can learn English even from The Simpsons. Anything. The cartoon. My daughter learns from SpongeBob, from Teen Titans, whatever. There's no wrong place to learn. And why does she learn? Daddy, what did she just say? What is that word that she said? Because she's curious. Because she's always asking herself and then asking me what things mean, how things work. And again, that's all I can wish for all of you. All right. So double trouble, huh? Giving you a little trouble today, I see. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's look at our spelling bee words, and this way I'll buy you some more time in case you want to try. All right, so the spelling bee words all had to do with an event that happened today in 2010. This was a leak es con fuga, a leaking oil well, and it was known as the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. We looked at the word spill in homophones, right? Spill, derramar. So an oil spill. That's right. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill. It happened today in 2010. It was an environmental disaster that happened off the coast of the United States in the Gulf of Mexico on a ship called the Macondo Prospect. All right, so these were all the words that tell the story. Number one, deep water. Okay, that was the name of the platform. Deep water. Deepwater Horizon. Horizonte. Se pronuncia la H, horizon. No ho, ha, horizon. Number two, an oil spill. All right, well, that's when these tankers, these big ships, spill the oil, right? So an oil spill. Number three was environmental disaster, right? La N de environmental, no lo pronunciamos. It's not environ, it's environmental. Yo nunca he pronunciado esa N en mi vida. Ni hecho, de hecho, no sé ni por qué está ahí. The next word was United States. The next word was the Gulf of Mexico. It's not golf. Okay, so let's clear that up right here too. Golf is the game, right? Golf. Gulf is what's the word I'm looking for? When we're talking about geography, we're talking about a gulf. All right, GULF. Okay, and the Gulf of Mexico, or as Trump would like to rename it, the Gulf of the United States. And number six was the Macondo Prospect, and that was the name of the ship. So pretty crazy. Again, if you want to look into it more, it's called the Deep Horizon oil spill, and it happened today in 2010. You can say 2010 or 2010. All right? So there you go, my amigos. Very sad when you see these things. And I know in Spain, you guys are no strangers to this. You've had some oil spills here in Spain. I don't remember now, for the life of me, por mucho que lo piensa, for the life of me, I can't remember. If one of you guys wants to remind me, what was the biggest? There was a really big one that happened. Was it in Galicia? Was it? And it was a huge oil spill. And we all know, the environmental impacts of these careless companies. ¿no? Porque al final son empresas descuidadas. They're billionaire, trillionaire companies, but they don't have the basic safety features. It happens more, much more than it should. And I have a feeling, I have a hunch that usually the punishment, el castigo, is a slap on the wrist. A slap on the wrist es, decimos, un guantazo en la muñeca, pero significa un castigo muy flojo. A slap on the wrist. All right, let's see. Chris is taking a stab at our double trouble. Let's see what she's got. She says, even though we work like a match, we are not matched up with each other. Good effort. I'm going to give you an applause for effort, but we wouldn't say we work like a match. A ver cómo se dice, como maquinaria. Como maquinaria. Let's see here. Because there's another way to say it too. What was the way I was just thinking? Maquinaria. No me acuerdo que el que te iba a decir. No. I'm trying to think of it. A ver si me acuerdo. But the one I have here, and now you're going to see why I chose this one, is even though, aunque, right? Even though we work together like a well-oiled machine. Esa es la otra. Like clockwork. Sabía que me iba a venir, ¿no? Como reloj. Pero también decimos como una máquina bien lubricada. Okay? Que todas las partes funcionan bien. Okay? So even though we work together like a well-oiled machine, we are like oil and water. Piénsalo. ¿Qué pasa cuando mezclas aceite con agua? You can mix it all you want. They're going to separate. They're not going to match. They're not going to get together. So those two are like oil and water. No se soportan, no se aguantan, no son compatibles. So there you go, folks. The idea there was using the word oil since we were looking at an oil spill in today's spelling bee. Remember, there are always clues throughout the show that can help you in the future sections, right? So if you hear something at the beginning of the show, hold on to it because you might hear it at the end of the show as well. So even though we work together like clockwork or like a well-oiled machine, we are like oil and water. All right, excellent effort, Chris. Hey, at least she made an effort. And now we're going to your favorite place, Chris. I know it. It's the movies. Name that movie. All right, amigos, here's your Name That Movie today. Here's the synopsis, and we'll see if you guys know it or not. A father recounts, recontar, ¿no? Rememorar, recontar. A father recounts a dark period of his childhood when he and his little brother lived in the suburbs. Ya está. That's it. Doesn't sound like too much going on there. So a father recounts a dark period of his childhood, su niñez, when he and his little brother lived in the suburbs, en las afueras. Okay? I'll give you a clue. The movie came out in 1992. Came out in 1992. And I remember loving this movie, actually, now that I think about it. But if you had tried to sell me on the movie based on the synopsis, I wouldn't watch it. So that's funny. Sometimes the synopsis makes you want to watch it more. And other times you're like, yeah, but the movie's a lot better than that one line you just gave me. All right, well, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen. Older Mike, o sea, Mike de Mayor, says, there are 7 lost secret fascinations and abilities. Okay, hay 7 fascinaciones, habilidades perdidas secretas. They are that Animals can talk. Los animales hablan. Your favorite blanket is woven, tejido, to weave. Viene del verbo to weave. Your favorite blanket is woven from a fabric so mighty, tan fuerte, that once pulled over your head, it becomes an impenetrable force field. ¿Te acuerdas tu mantita favorita que te protegía? That's what they're talking about. He says, nothing is too heavy to lift without the aid of your cape. No hay nada que sea demasiado pesado para levantar sin la ayuda de tu capa. Your hand, held forefinger out and thumb up, actually fires bullets. O sea, tu mano con tu forefinger out, que es el forefinger or your pointer, your index finger, and your thumb up actually fires bullets. Realmente, dispara balas. Right? He's talking about childhood, these truths of childhood, truths, as I say. Jumping from any height. Vamos a tener cuidado con esa palabra porque no es hate, it's height. Height. Jumping from any height with an umbrella is completely safe. Monsters exist and can both be seen and done battle with. Los monstruos existen, puedes verlos y hasta batallar contra ellos. And the greatest, most special and regrettable loss of all, the ability to fly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your classmate, Chris Van Roll. The movie is Radio Flyer. That's right, Radio Flyer. And this is a movie that stars Lorraine Bracco, John Hurd, Adam Baldwin, and it came out in 1992. And it was directed by Richard Donner. Does that name ring a bell? Richard Donner, The Goonies. That's why I like this movie. I'm a huge fan of Richard Donner's work. There you go, folks. The movie is Radio Flyer. All right, it's time to move on, though, to You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking. Now, I decided since we were looking at tidying up, cleaning up, you know, some household chores, estos quehaceres domésticos, that I would find a couple jokes that had to do with cleaning up, right? With chores. So here we go. So a friend of mine wanted to know if I had any laundry puns or if I knew any laundry puns. And you know what I told her? I told her I've got loads of them. You get it? My friend wanted to know if I knew any laundry puns sobre lavar ropa. And I told her I've got loads of them. I've got loads. You get it? Una colada is a load. Pero también loads of es muchísimo. You get it? I've got loads of them. Tengo muchísimos. Tengo coladas. There you go, folks. So yeah, we say, I'm going to do a load of laundry. Una carga en vez de una colada. You get it? I've got loads of them. Tengo muchísimo. Es una forma de say I've got lots. No? Es igual que I got lots of them. I've got loads of them. Okay? But also a load of laundry. All right, here's another one. What did the broom say to the vacuum? I am so tired of people pushing us around. To push around? Well, literally, empujar algo, right? To push around, right? Here it says zarandear. Oh my God, yo no sabía eso. Zarandear. Zarandear. Eso es difícil decir esa palabra, right? Pero tiene, right? He was pushing the lawnmower around. He was pushing the vacuum around, okay? But also, if somebody pushes a person around, it's bullying somebody. Are you trying to push me around? Okay, so you get it now? Estoy cansado de la gente mangoneándome, mandándome, pushing me around. You get it? So what did the broom, la escoba, say to the vacuum? I am so tired of people pushing us around. There you go, folks. That's your joking. But we've got a birthday party to get to. It's famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, amigos, welcome to Famous Birthdays here on the show with no name. Our first birthday boy is Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner. You'll never hear him called by that name. In fact, his name is Picadura. Okay, so if you know the word Picadura, he was in the group La Policía, the police. Every breath you take, every move you make, every breath. All right, come on. We all know that guy. He's probably one of the most famous singers, songwriters, bass players, que es bajista, in the world. All right, not just with the police, but also in his solo career. You remember me as we walk in fields of gold. Number 2, this Italian-American actress played Jennifer Melfi on The Sopranos. Yeah, Tony Soprano's shrink. She was also in Goodfellas, Uno de los Nuestros. She was in Sing and many other movies, including Radio Flyer. I just said her name. And last but not least, this American lawyer was probably one of the most famous lawyers to ever walk the planet. One of these celebrity lawyers. And he was famous for defending many, many clients, such as Michael Jackson, Snoop Dogg, but probably his most famous or infamous client was O.J. Simpson. All right. And he had that famous line, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Okay. Si no cabe el guante, tienes que absolverle. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. So this guy, along with Kardashian, the Kardashian dad, was part of that legal team as well. All right, let me give you all three because we don't have much time. Number 1 is Sting. Number 2, Lorraine Bracco. And number 3, Johnny Cochran. Great job, Chris. You got it. And this is Johnny Cochran in court. And Chris, nice job. She says, I missed a few words. Well, don't worry. We're going to fill in the blanks now. He says, I was thinking last night about this case and their theory, su teoría, and how it didn't make any sense. No tenía sentido. And how it didn't fit. No encajaba, no cabía. And how something is wrong. And it occurred to me how they were going to come here, stand up here, and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself. There you go. This is him testifying in court for O.J. Simpson. Here he is, super lawyer Johnny Cochran.
I was thinking last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. And it occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how O.J. Simpson was going to disguise himself.
All right, folks, excellent job today. Thank you so much for being with us, whether it's been for a year or for 17 years. It is absolutely mind-blowing, and it's a pleasure to spend my mornings with you, Show with No Namer. So thanks again for all your effort and your energy. And we're going to say goodbye with a Sting song. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she do just turns me on. Everything she do? Really, Sting? Pero, claro, lo entendemos porque ahí solo necesitaba una sílaba. Also, again, you've got poetic license. And do you know what turns me on means? Bueno, ya que estamos. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she do just turns me on. Me pone. It turns me on. Entonces el inverso, it turns me off. Oh, no, I don't like that. So here it is, folks. A classic song by The Police. Every little thing she does is magic. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao for now.